Have you ever walked into a room, maybe even your own home, and just thought, something feels off here?
Oh, definitely.
It's not that the decor is bad, or even that it's messy necessarily, but just this subtle feeling that the space isn't quite working for you. Or supporting you, maybe.
That feeling is so real, isn't it? It really
Yeah.
makes you wonder how much our spaces are actually shaping our experience, even subconsciously.
Exactly. And today we're doing a deep dive into something that tries to address that exact feeling. Feng Shui.
Oh,
But maybe not the version you first picture, with crystals everywhere or super strict rules about where the sofa must go. We're looking specifically at how its ancient principles can be, well, adapted, how they fit into modern Western homes.
right. Enhancing your style, not replacing it.
Yeah, enhancing your existing style rather than feeling like you have to ditch everything and start over with something totally unfamiliar.
We've been looking through the sources you shared, especially that really insightful article from Mindful Living, Understanding Feng Shui Principles in Western Interior Design.
Hmm.
And what's great is how it starts right off by saying, look, this isn't about abandoning your personal taste. It's about using these ideas to make your space feel more nurturing, more supportive. It really connects to how our environment subtly hits our mood, our productivity.
So our mission for this deep dive is really to pull out the practical wisdom here. We want to show you how these principles can help create harmony, support your well-being, but without needing a massive overhaul or, filling your house with traditional Asian decor, if that's not your thing.
Okay, so let's maybe kick things off with the core idea, yeah.
Hmm.
Moving past any sort of mystical vibes people might associate with it.
Good idea.
At its heart, Feng Shui is really about optimizing the flow of energy qi in your space.
Right. Chi.
And the source puts it brilliantly. This energy flow, it isn't some mysterious force. It's described as practical psychology mixed with environmental awareness, basically making spaces where you feel good.
And that's the key bit, isn't it? That feeling. When you walk into a room and you just instantly feel calm, maybe, or energized, focused, that's the tangible effect of good chai flow, that aha moment.
Precisely. And if you think about it, good Feng Shui aims for the same things as just good interior design.
Oh, wow.
You want spaces that are functional, comfortable, that reflect who you are, and that promote positive experiences. Feng Shui isn't separate. It's like a foundation that can boost any design style.
Okay, so if these ideas are pretty universal, the big question for most of us is probably, how do we actually start using them without, gutting the entire house?
That's the million-dollar question. And the article lays out 5 core principles that really work universally, whatever your style. First up, clear pathways.
Okay.
This isn't just about not stubbing your toe. It's about letting your body and mind move freely.
Yeah.
It stops that subconscious feeling of being blocked or restricted. Think about the mental ease of just moving around effortlessly.
That makes so much sense. It's like mental breathing room, not just physical space. Okay, what else?
Then there's balance between yin and yang energy.
Yin and yang, right.
Our source explains this comes through things like color, texture, lighting. So maybe a soft, cozy sofa that's yin, balanced by a bright, focused reading lamp beside it that's yang. It creates this sense of dynamic calm, not chaos.
Got it. Dynamic calm. I like that.
Absolutely. Third principle, a deep connection to nature. Think about how good it feels when natural light floods a room, or you see a healthy, thriving plant.
Instant calm.
Exactly. You're bringing that grounding energy from outside, inside. Fourth is intentional placement of furniture, making sure it supports what the room is for and also your sense of security, like positioning your desk so you can see the door.
The command position idea. We'll get more into that, I bet.
We will. And finally, number 5, clutter-free environments. We all know clutter feels stressful, right?
Oh, yeah.
But Feng Shui explains why. Physical clutter isn't just messy. It literally blocks mental clarity. It blocks the flow of your own energy, your focus. So tidying up isn't just about neatness. It's about freeing your mind by freeing your space.
Wow. Okay.
And the source really hammers this home. Understanding the why behind these ideas is way more important than just following rules blindly. That why lets you adapt it all to your style, your life.
That makes sense. It gives you flexibility.
Exactly. So building on that, let's talk about those 5 elements. People hear that and sometimes picture, very traditional decor.
Right. Specific colors or objects.
But it's not about literal things. You don't need a bonfire for the fire element.
Yeah.
They represent different types of energy. And you could express them using colors, materials, shapes, textures, things that fit perfectly into contemporary Western design.
Okay, so they're more like energetic concepts we can weave in.
Yeah.
How do we actually do that in a modern home?
Let's break them down. So wood element. This is about growth, vitality, new starts.
Hmm.
Think greens and browns. Shapes. Vertical, rectangular materials.
Yeah.
Natural wood, obviously. Bamboo, linen, cotton.
Okay.
In a modern setting, this could be a cool live edge table, maybe a subtle wood accent wall, definitely plants thriving ones,
Mm-hmm.
or even vertical stripes in your fabrics.
Right. Vertical for growth. Got it.
Right.
What about fire?
Fire is passion, energy being seen. Colors are reds, oranges, yellows, bright pinks. Shapes tend to be triangular or pointed. Materials could be leather, wool, silk, and, well, candles
Makes sense.
in a contemporary space. Think statement lighting fixtures, maybe bold geometric art, warm accent pillows or throws. It's interesting, actually, how much American decor naturally uses wood and fire. Lots of natural materials, warm, inviting colors.
That's true.
Okay, next.
Earth. This is stability, grounding, feeling nourished. Colors are beiges, tans, soft yellows, terracotta. Materials are stone, ceramic, tile, natural fibers. Shapes, often square or rectangular.
So like stone countertops.
Exactly. Natural stone countertops, maybe some lovely ceramic vases, neutral color palettes overall. Solid square furniture that feels really anchored.
Okay. And metal.
Metal is about clarity, precision, efficiency. Colors are whites, grays, metallic steel, brass, copper. Shapes are often circular or oval. Materials include metals, glass.
How does that look in practice? Could be sleek metallic light fittings, a big round mirror, maybe a crisp white or gray color scheme, or just some elegant metal accent pieces like a bowl or sculpture.
And the last one, water.
Water represents flow, intuition, reflection. Colors are blues, blacks, deep purples. Shapes are curvy, flowing lines, materials, glass, mirrors, fabrics that drape and flow.
So maybe big windows.
Yes. Big windows bringing in the view, mirrors used smartly to bounce light around, a calming blue accent wall, flowy curtains adding softness, any reflective surfaces, really.
Okay, this is starting to feel much more accessible than I initially thought. Another thing that can seem a bit daunting is the Bagua map.
Ah, yes, the Bagua. Dividing the space into 9 life areas. It can seem complex. But the source stresses a simplified approach, especially for Western homes.
Simplified is good.
Definitely. You don't need to overlay it perfectly like on a traditional Chinese floor plan. It's more about adapting it to typical Western layouts and, importantly, your own life. For instance, your entry area, often linked to career or your path in life. So keeping it welcoming, bright, and totally clutter-free isn't just nice for guests. It symbolically keeps your path forward clear.
Wow, okay. Just thinking about my entryway differently now. What about other areas?
Well, using this simplified view, the back left corner is often seen as your wealth or abundance area. Now, this isn't magic money.
Right.
It's about consciously placing things there that represent prosperity to you.
Yeah.
It could be art you love, a healthy plant, something that feels abundant.
Mm-hmm.
The back center area, often fame or recognition. A great spot to display achievements, awards, or maybe artwork that inspires you, reminds you of your potential.
Interesting.
The back right corner relates to love and relationships. So maybe place things in pairs there, 2 candles, 2 small sculptures to symbolize partnership. Using softer colors can also help foster warmth.
Okay.
Then the right side is often linked to children and creativity, a perfect place for playful elements. Maybe display your kids' art or your own creative projects. Energize that area.
Makes sense. Keep going.
Your front right, that's for helpful people and travel. Maybe put items there that represent mentors, people who support you, or photos of places you dream of visiting. It's like sending out an invitation for support and adventure.
I like that idea. An invitation.
The front center is typically knowledge and self-development. Ideal for creating a quiet corner, maybe a comfy chair for reading or reflection. A space dedicated to learning.
Nice.
And finally, the left side is often associated with family and health. A natural spot for cherished family photos. Or maybe bring in some natural elements like wood or plants that symbolize vitality.
So it's really about being more intentional with how we use different zones in our homes.
Exactly. It encourages you to think purposefully about how each area supports a different facet of your life. It lines up really well with modern design ideas like functional zoning, creating spaces for specific activities.
Now, a lot of modern homes have open floor plans. They look great, very spacious, but sometimes maybe they feel a bit unsettled, like the energy just rushes through.
That's a really common challenge with open plans. Traditional Feng Shui wasn't really built for them, but the source gives some practical tips.
Okay, good. What can we do?
The goal isn't to wall things off again. It's about creating subtle speed bumps for the energy. You can define functional zones clearly. Use area rugs, They're brilliant for visually anchoring a seating area or dining space.
Right. Rubs are key.
Strategic lighting helps too, highlighting different zones. And of course, furniture placement itself can create rooms within a room.
And you want gentle transitions between these zones, right? Not harsh lines.
Precisely.
Mhm.
Gentle transitions. And try to maintain clear sight lines overall so it still feels open, but give each zone its own visual anchor point. Using consistent design elements like a repeated color or material helps unify the whole open space, even while each area has its own identity.
Okay, let's talk furniture arrangement within those zones. How do we get the flow right?
One interesting tip from the source is to angle furniture slightly. Don't just line everything up parallel to the walls.
Oh, yeah.
It just softens the energy, makes the room feel less rigid, more inviting, more dynamic.
Huh. I'll have to try that. And creating conversation areas, obviously.
Absolute paramount.
Yeah.
You want to encourage connection, stop the space feeling like a waiting room, and, where possible, try to arrange main seating so you have a view of the room's entrance.
The command position again.
Exactly. It creates that subtle but powerful sense of security. Also, consider using round or oval coffee tables. They can soften the energy, especially in rooms with lots of straight lines and angles.
Good tip.
And finally, use your major furniture pieces, sofas, large chairs, to help define pathways without blocking them. Guide the flow, don't obstruct it. Let people and energy move easily.
You know, it's really interesting. It feels like a lot of contemporary living room design kind of naturally does some of this stuff already.
It really does. That focus on comfort, function, clear zones, good flow, it aligns surprisingly well with these Feng Shui principles. It's like an intuitive understanding.
Yeah. Okay, what about color? We touched on elements, but general color psychology.
Well, the good news is Western color psychology lines up really well with Feng Shui color theory. Both understand that colors affect our mood and energy. It's about balance.
So how can we apply that in a Western-friendly way?
You can use neutral bases, whites, beiges, grays. They create a calm foundation, let other elements stand out.
Classic.
Earth tones, tans, browns, warm grays are fantastic for stability, that grounded feeling we often crave. Soft blues and greens are great for tranquility, health zones like bedrooms or bathrooms. Very calming. Then you can bring in warm accent colors, maybe coral, peach, a soft yellow to add that fire energy tastefully. Just pops of vibrancy.
Right, not overwhelming.
And metallic accents, brass, copper, silver, bring in the metal element. Add sophistication, clarity, a touch of refinement.
So it really depends on the room's purpose.
Exactly. For bedrooms, you'd lean towards softer, muted tones for rest, living areas. More balanced, maybe inviting connection, but also allowing relaxation. Kitchens often benefit from warm, nourishing colors. Home offices need colors that support focus and creativity. You tailor it.
Okay. And furniture placement, again, beyond just flow. We mentioned command position.
Yes, command position is huge. Being able to see the main entrance from your bed, your desk, your main sofa, it's deep-seated psychology. You feel safer, more in control, less likely to be surprised.
I totally get that. I once had my desk facing a wall, back to the door. Felt awful. Turning it around made a huge difference.
It really does. Other key things. Obviously, don't block pathways. Create supportive backing, placing sofas, beds, desks against solid walls gives a subconscious feeling of support.
Makes sense, like having your back covered.
Exactly. Also, balance visual weight. Don't put all the heavy furniture on one side of the room. Distribute it so it feels balanced. And arrange things to support how you naturally move and use the space. Guide people towards the seating area, for instance.
So linking it all together, it's really about creating this intuitive feeling of comfort, security, and control in the spaces where we spend the most time.
That's it, exactly. And building on that, Feng Shui's love for natural elements fits perfectly with the whole biophilic design trend we see everywhere now.
Right, bringing the outside in.
Yes, but thoughtfully. Living plants are fantastic. They clean the air, represent growth. But, and the source highlights this, choose plants you can actually keep alive.
Good point. A sad, dying plant probably isn't great Feng Shui.
Definitely not. Also, use natural materials. Wood, stone, cotton, linen. Incorporate nature-inspired patterns. Maximize natural light with smart window treatments, maybe mirrors. Even a small, quiet water feature can work if it suits your style.
Okay, now what about technology? That wasn't around for ancient Feng Shui masters.
True. It needs mindful integration. The source suggests creating tech-free zones. Bedrooms, dining tables, places where you want presence and connection, not EMFs and distractions.
Good idea. We probably all need more of that.
And simple things. Organize cables and cords. That visual wire clutter creates chaotic energy. Position screens thoughtfully. Don't let the TV dominate the living room conversation area.
Right.
You can use natural materials like a wooden media stand to help balance the metal energy of the tech itself.
Yeah.
And create neat, organized charging stations so devices aren't just strewn everywhere.
What about a home office? So many people work from home now.
Key things for a home office. Desk in the command position. Good lighting. Mix natural light with warm task lighting. Bring in plants for vitality. Get a supportive chair, preferably against a solid wall. And keep clutter minimal for focus. Think about setting yourself up for productivity and well-being. It's really crucial to remember this isn't a one-and-done thing. Creating a harmonious home is an ongoing relationship with your space.
Right. Life changes, seasons change.
Exactly. Our energy needs shift. So thinking about seasonal adjustments makes sense. Maybe lighter fabrics and fresh flowers in spring for renewal. Brighter, warmer accents in summer for that fire energy. More grounding colors, cozy textures in fall for earth energy. Deeper colors, maybe more reflective surfaces in winter for water's quiet introspection.
Little tweaks, not huge changes.
Exactly. And just regular, maybe monthly maintenance keeps things fresh. The source suggests simple things. Declutter just one small area. Clean your windows and mirrors, lets the light in, check on your plants. Maybe rearrange one piece of furniture, just shift the energy slightly. Update artwork if something no longer inspires you.
Keeps the space feeling alive and responsive.
Precisely. Now, as Feng Shui has gotten more popular in the West, some misconceptions have popped up.
Oh yeah, like what?
Well, the idea that you have to use specific objects like certain crystals or wind chimes everywhere.
Yeah.
They could be used as cures or enhancers,
Yeah.
but they aren't the absolute core of it.
Okay, what else?
That red is always lucky. It's a powerful color, yes, but its effect depends entirely on the context, where it is, how much is used, what element is needed there. It's not a universal magic bullet.
Right. Nuance is key.
And the idea that you have to follow every single rule perfectly, like a rigid checklist, that misses the point about adaptation and intuition. Also, that Western and Eastern Feng Shui are totally different. The core principles about energy are universal. The application adapts.
And probably the idea you need to spend a fortune on a consultant.
That too. While consultations can be helpful, you can achieve a lot just by understanding the basic principles and using your own observation and intuition. Which brings up cultural sensitivity.
Important point.
Yeah, it's vital to focus on the principles behind the practices, not just grabbing literal symbols without understanding. Do a little research, understand the why. Adapt things respectfully. Avoid stereotypical Asian decor themes unless that's genuinely your heritage and style. And always give credit to the cultural origins of these ideas.
So, wrapping this part up, what does this all really mean for you, the listener? It's clearly not about just buying lucky bamboo or painting your door red.
Not at all.
It's about really understanding the underlying wisdom, how our environment genuinely impacts how we feel and function.
The ultimate aim, really, is to develop your own personal Feng Shui practice. Something that enhances your daily life, moving beyond just rules to using your intuition about what feels right in your space.
How do you develop that intuition?
Start simple. Just notice. Notice how different rooms, different arrangements, different lighting make you feel, what contributes to feeling calm, stressed, energized.
Be observant.
Yeah. Then experiment. Make small changes, move a lamp, clear a shelf, and see what happens. Observe the effect, even if it's subtle.
Trust your gut feeling about what feels balanced or off.
Exactly. Trust your instincts. Keep learning the principles, not as rigid rules, but to understand the universal dynamics at play. Maybe even create little personal rituals for tidying or refreshing your space that feel good to you.
Because at the end of the day, good Feng Shui should support the life you actually want to live. It needs to reflect your real needs, your habits, your values.
Precisely. It empowers you by making you more conscious of how your surroundings affect you. That awareness leads to more intentional choices about your space.
So this deep dive has really shown, I think, that Feng Shui offers this incredibly rich framework, not just for making homes beautiful, but making them truly supportive. It boils down to these universal ideas: energy flow, connecting with nature, placing things with intention. And the key is adapting it all for how we live now in our contemporary Western homes and styles.
The big takeaway is seeing these principles as tools. Empowering tools to improve your relationship with your home, not another set of stressful rules to follow perfectly.
So here's something to think about. How does your environment affect you right now, where you are? Based on everything we've talked about, what's maybe one small intentional change you could make in your space this week? Something small that might just subtly shift how you feel, maybe your mood or your focus?